That's weird.
I think it's his tinnitus reflecting on the microphone or something.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Virtual Campfire. I'm Kyle, and we are joined by Matt and Wendy DeWitt. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello.
How's it going?
We appreciate everyone being here. Gonna say hello to some people in the chat. We got Bill in the chat, Jeffrey, Scout75, Big Joe. Hello. If you guys want to put where you're from in the chat, that'd be awesome. We always like to see and hear where people are from and tune into. But let's go around the horn here and say hello to our usual suspects. Celia, hello. How are you?
Doing great. How are you, Kyle? And
good.
Matt, Wendy, Justin.
Tell us about your new awning. You got a new awning.
Oh my goodness! You had to bring that up. I should have told you. Anyway, I just installed a new Taruka awning. It's the real true 270, and it's got a little hatch in the back so you can access either your rooftop tent or what I call my attic, which is that cargo carrier that I bring to the campouts.
Very cool. It's about a month old, you said?
Yeah. I mean, it's a month old, but I just installed it a couple of days ago.
Oh, gotcha. So you haven't camped with it yet?
No. I'm looking forward to taking it to Utah next month.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you've got your big Utah trip coming up. Oh, that's going to be exciting. Very
Knock
cool.
on wood. Yeah.
And then also we have Justin. Hello, Justin. You're out and about.
Yeah, I just pulled into Village Creek State Park in Texas earlier this afternoon.
And you are, so if you're not aware and not part of the Hiker Hangout on Facebook group, and you have a hiker, you can join the Hiker Hangout group, and there are challenges. And one of the challenges for 2026 is called the 6-pack, right? And it is camping in 6 different states in the United States. And you are, from what I understand, you are on number 6 tonight, right?
Tonight makes number 6.
Yep.
We haven't even began. We will have number 1 next month.
Well, I do live in the very, very deep south where we don't get all that white stuff that y'all get up there.
Our trailer just came out of hibernation.
We don't really
death.
know what winterize means down here. So I do have an advantage. Plus my schedule, I work a week on, a week off, so I get a lot of free time.
Well, and then also you have a slight advantage during fire and frost too, where you have better weather for the fire and frost challenge.
Okay, Kyle, I'm going to hold you to that and challenge you to come to Louisiana in July and August.
August.
I live in Missouri. It's hot here too.
You got to come down here and get that 110% humidity.
Challenge accepted. I will accept your challenge.
Comes with mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the birds.
Right. Let's say hello to some more people here in the chat. We've got Lisa in the chat. Hello. Brandon in the chat. N1JUR. Eric from Eric, are you from Connecticut or New Hampshire? I can't remember what state you're from, but hello. Looks like the Lightfit people are in the chat. Hello. Good to see you guys. So what we're going to do is Matt Matt and Wendy are here, and if you've been living under a rock and have a hiker trailer, I don't know what to tell you, but they put on a campout every year. And I've had my hiker trailer 2 years and been to 2 of them. Third one is coming up in September, right?
Yep.
And it has grown and grown and grown. It is a huge event. It takes a ton of coordination, and we're going to get into all of the things that you guys do. But I first wanted to ask you guys, and we'll start the conversation here, is how did this start? Who had this idea, and where did it start to have this camp out every year?
Well, when we got our trailer and we were looking at the trailers, it was back in 2019. Wes, the first owner, we brought the idea to him and said, because these trailers aren't well known, it would be nice to get the word out. We searched on YouTube. We found a couple of videos that he had done. And once we kind of discovered the brand, we brought the idea to him and said, hey, what if we put a camp out on and invited everybody that has these, because it's such a small community back then, and see if we could put on a camp out. And he kind of hee-hawed a little bit, was like he didn't really want to deal with the logistics. And I said, hey, what if we take on the logistics? What if we organize it? We'll put it together. You help us with picking a great campground around Indiana. So we'll have it kind of near where the hiker headquarters was at the time, which was Noblesville, and try to find a good campground, and we'll put everything else together. So we pitched ideas of, clinics and helping people and kind of getting people interested in the brand and getting people that don't even own a hiker to come out and see them. And it'd be a great marketing tool for them. And then just get to know people that have that same small trailer life. And I'm going to stretch my memory. Where was the first one?
I took my sheets. So I remember where they all were. That one was at McCormick State Park.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that was in Indiana?
Indiana. Yep. West of
Gotcha.
Indianapolis.
Do you remember how did you guys promote it? Was the Facebook hiker page already established, or how did you guys?
No, it was, we put out, I'm trying to think. I think we put out a couple of videos.
And then Wes probably mentioned it to people that were picking up trailers or reaching out to them.
Yep.
It was more, I feel like at that point, to help promote the brand and have people come and take a look. Just come for a day even. You didn't have to camp with us. Dwayne and Teresa, who have been part of it with us all these years, they came to the first one in a tent and left with a trailer on order.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was one of those deals. The first one was 11 or 12 people, if I remember right.
We had 20 trailers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah. So, and then the first one, Wes was very much loved to interact with people. So he would show up and he had his trailer. He had a jack. He had all kinds of equipment with him. And it's like, hey, could you take a look at my bearings? Oh, sure. He'd go over there with his jack it up. He'd get dirty. He loved going trailer to trailer and kind of helping people and looking at things for them and giving them ideas. And he absolutely loved it. So.
And then since this was so new and no one had seen what other people were doing in the afternoon, we decided, hey, let's just go from trailer to trailer and show off what we've done to it. Yeah. And that was the start of the trailer tours.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
Well, back then we could tour all the trailers in about an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, definitely an afternoon.
Tops. And it was amazing because for us, we're watching people go from trailer to trailer with notepads, scribbling down things and sharing ideas with each other. And it was such a tight-knit little group at that point when everybody walking around with their cups of coffee. And it was just very relaxed. And literally it was this big group. So the campground was all like, what are these people doing? Because all of us would just kind of herd around one trailer and move to the next one, until we hit all the trailers. So obviously it's grown significantly since then.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I want to highlight Bill's comment here. He is in the Sierra foothills near Yosemite, and he is super excited. Saturday is New Hiker Day. Oh, he is getting his hiker on Saturday.
Nice.
Hey, congratulations! Welcome to the family.
Yeah, You'll have to. You're probably maybe already included in the Facebook group, but if you aren't, send an email to Hiker and have them add you to the Facebook group. The owners, the verified owners. So yeah, very cool. Congrats, Bill.
So yeah, when Matt said, "Hey, we'll put this on for you," I was like, "What in the world are you getting us into? No, you're doing this. I'm not doing anything."
So okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, and then it changed. Now I love putting them on and doing all the details.
So I started the whole video side of it and the YouTubing and said, hey, this would be good to get. We couldn't find any information on Hike originally when we purchased ours. We found just a couple videos. So we're like, let's just get the word out so other people can see what these are about. There's not enough information on them. So that's how we posted our first couple of videos. And just trying to get more people involved and get more people to come out to the events. And it just blossomed every year. We couldn't believe it. And then, of course, COVID hit. So that made it kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got a few questions about that, and we'll get into that. Scout 75 brings up a good point. He said, I've learned a ton from the trailer tour videos. I literally watched those videos with a notebook and pen. But he doesn't even have a hiker trailer. He has got, I forget what type of trailer Scout has got. It's one that is like made in Wisconsin and like Appleton, or it's the
Runaway or
no, Runaway's Florida. So
TC
content TC teardrops, yeah, probably
TC
be Wisconsin.
teardrops. That's what. Yep. Yeah, he's got one of those, and he brings up a good point. Like the trailer tours that you guys do, they're hiker centric, but they don't have to be hiker centric. You can get a ton of ideas from just trailer tours in general.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And when we would camp, when we'd have these groups, we'd go around and you'd see other teardrop owners are like, hey, can we kind of, tag along and take a look at these? I'm like, absolutely. That's what it was all about. That first and second year, it was amazing to us how many people, when we put the word out, I think we eventually put it on Facebook, but we had people just interested in the trailers that drove in for the day, parked their car in a parking spot and walked around to see all the trailers and then left that night, whether they purchased or not, I don't know, but just gathering ideas for that small trailer life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like Lightfoot's comment. Trailer tours are expensive.
They
Yes.
are. They would cost you a lot of money.
So are videos put on by MWDAdventures.
Yeah.
I heard.
That is even if you don't attend a camp out, you can still get the vibe and kind of get, be part of the group through the videos,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we try to balance the videos between trip videos where people can see how we use our trailer, how you can use a trailer, where you can camp, how that works, and then balancing between products for the trailers and then the campouts themselves and showing other people's trailers off. It's just amazing to us. Every year we're like, no, this is it. This is the year we've seen it all. There's no way someone did something different this year. And then we get to the campout and we're just like, these people just look at me with my jaw on the ground and I'm like, how in the world did you think of this idea?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I have a video. There was a guy by the name of Eric. He's from Florida, and he brought at Moore last weekend. There were, I think, 9 hiker trailers, and it was by far the most. I didn't see more than 2 of one trailer at Moore, right? And there was 9 hikers, but Eric had this EOR that he purchased 5 or 6 months ago, and he has tricked this thing out. You guys have to watch this video that I'm going to release on Sunday. I have never seen a trailer tricked out as much as he did. It's just unbelievable. And he has a 36-inch galley.
Wow.
Interesting.
So you guys gotta watch this video.
Deep?
It is just like everything that he showed me. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So it is a very interesting video. But again, to your point, Matt, I am so in awe by some of the people that have these mods and come to your campouts, and again, I'm just like, no, this is the one. You can't top this one. This one's the one, and then somebody else does it the next year.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. We've seen that with some of the videos too. You know, some of the really over the top built out ones get hits over and over and over because there's just so many things on them for people to look at and analyze and rewind and look at it again and try to decide, is that something I want? Do I want that complexity or do I want something more simple? You know?
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting.
Still do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back to, sounds like the first one was kind of organic and everyone just kind of gathered around and or you did, some loose coordination. Did you, for the second one, where was the second one at? Do you remember? Do you have the list there?
We got the list.
That one was at Indian Boundaries in Tennessee. So it's just south of the Smokies.
Okay.
That was a great campground, but that was the COVID year. And so we only had 11 trailers show up that year because there were so many people that they didn't know if they could go back to work. They'd been gone. They had to be, away from work for a period of time when they come back. So we only were able to get 11. So that one was very organic also, just because it was such a small group. So there again, we kind of walked around and looked at everyone's trailers. And back then it was Friday through Sunday. We didn't add the Thursday until the fourth one, later. I think.
Yep.
Got it.
And then that's when we met Greg and Sarah, who are part of our committee now.
You'll have to ask him about the kilt.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a kilt. That's where the kilt came out.
Mr. Kilt.
Yep. Mr. Kilt came and started a campfire.
Yes.
And we'll never forget it.
Wow.
And then Teresa and Dwayne, who joined our committee too.
So they came with they just picked it up.
Yep. They had just picked it up. It was their inaugural trip was to Indian Boundary.
So was that 2020 or 2021?
2020.
2020.
And that was in September of 2020. Has it always been in September?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we decided if you're going to do this, if you try to go in the summer, it's going to be hard to put a lot of campsites together, right? Mm-hmm. So by doing it in the fall, most kids are back in school. Campgrounds aren't as busy, except for this year in Wisconsin. I can't believe it. But so it's been easier to get campsites if we do it in September. So it's never Labor Day weekend. It's not the weekend right after Labor Day. It's like 2 weekends after Labor Day is what it's become.
Gotcha.
The weather's much nicer too.
That
it
too.
is. Typically, it's a little bit cooler. Not
Typically.
as humid. Typically. Now we've had some hiker campouts that have been really warm. We've had some that have been cold and cooler with some rain. But, if you camp with us, you're going to get some rain. That's the way it's going to go.
Right.
Don't jinx it. Our campouts have been pretty good.
I only remember rain in
Dale Hollow.
Dale Hollow.
Dale Hollow had some rain. Yep, for sure.
We had
we pivoted and made it work.
Yeah, we had a skunk come and shelter. I was like, whoa.
And then the raccoons. Like each year, we kind of start having animals that become the theme for what animals are in extra population.
Indian Boundary was interesting because it was so humid, that camp out, and we could not get the wood to light a fire to save our lives. Mm-hmm. All the wood they were selling there was just super, super damp. Of course, then Greg came along and master of fire. He got a fire going for us. But, it was interesting because people were walking around with masks. Everybody's got a mask or not all wanted to wear a mask. And there's a whole controversy whether you wear a mask or don't. And if you don't, do you separate yourself from the group? Mm-hmm. So what we would do is open a trailer and we'd stand back and kind of one at a time kind of come in and look around a little bit and try to respect not touching things and that kind of thing so that we could, get through. Oops. But that made it very interesting. It was more of a challenge. And then we had a group picture, which back then was a smaller group. And we had a group picture that
we had our masks on.
We all had masks on
because we didn't want people to be mad that we gathered and weren't wearing our masks.
Yeah. So.
And then we took it off and took a regular one without them. But we'll forever remember COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For good or bad.
Interesting camp out. Yep.
And then our third one in 2021 exploded. People were like, "Oh, I can go camping now." And so I looked, so we had 20 the first year, 11 the second year,
Yep.
52 the next year.
Yeah.
Wow. So how with COVID, obviously, you probably knew that you were going to have a down year for COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then and I guess we can get into this now. At what point you start planning for the next year?
As we're driving home.
No,
as you're driving home. Okay.
We typically are already thinking about it before the event even starts. We're already trying to get ideas in our head for the next location.
Right.
We're getting information from other people, places that would have a campout, right? Because you get to be so large, you have to have a site that's big enough for everybody. And you're not going to ever find a site that big. And then we want to keep it kind of Midwest or East because of HTCE. We want to keep it on the eastern side. And with that, it makes it very difficult. Some states like Virginia, for instance, very rocky, up and down, hilly. You're not going to get a large sprawled out campground out of that.
You might get like 10 here and 20 over here and 15 over here that they might say, oh, we've got 100 sites, but they're not all close enough together to make it feel like you've got a joint event.
So
yeah.
Each state had its challenges as we moved it around, but we wanted to keep it interesting and move it around to see different parts of the country, not just continually have the same place over and over.
Right.
And to make it that, like Celia, she doesn't have to drive so far one year.
Yes.
And then Gary and Tosh don't have to drive as far the next year. So we kind of go north-south to kind of move it around.
Right. Yeah. So, first I got to call out these super chats. My friend Greg, he's such a bonehead. Greg, I got a new hiker a few months ago. He did not get a new hiker a few months ago. He is pulling our chain. What waterbed would you recommend for Greg? You're a goofball, Greg. And then Blue Moon Overland. That's
Ben.
That's our friend Ben.
Yep,
yeah.
I see the beer money over there.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. And of course, Scout. It's always a little bit serious. He's talking about Greg. Anyway, so you guys, yeah, I always wondered about, do you have a list of campgrounds that you're trying to like hit, and like you need to call those campgrounds and say, hey, we might have 100 spots that we need to fill, and then you do your whittling down of campgrounds then? Because like I would assume that some campgrounds, like Land of the Lakes, has 1,000 campsites, right? But like you might have another campground picked out, and they're like, oh no, we have 150 sites, but 75 of them are already reserved. Well, that one probably is out of the picture, right? Mm-hmm. So do you guys have a list?
So up to last year, I actually ended up talking to Land Between the Lakes, but before that, I would just pick out a campground and say go.
Oh.
And so part of the reason of us having to try to figure things out on our way home is some campgrounds or some states you reserve 11 or 12 months ahead.
Mm-hmm.
In Michigan, we're 6 months ahead. So that would buy me a little more time and trying to figure out logistics of how to get people aware of what's going on.
Right.
But there've been some that we start talking to people that gave us some recommendations, and I go to look at it on our way home. I'm like, oh, reservations are already going. So the next week, I'm already sending out an email saying, hey, if you want to do next year, you got to put your reservations in right now.
What have you ever ran into the issue where in-state people can reserve a month before out-of-state people?
I heard, is that Georgia or Alabama?
Well, Florida. Florida's like that. Okay. I don't know where anywhere else, because I tried to get a campsite for my next ham radio event in Orlando, and of course all of the beach campgrounds or campsites are already booked because the in-state people have already taken them, right?
So none of the states that we've gone to up to this point have had that. So Land Between the Lakes, I had thought we were going to go to the Tennessee, the southern part of Land Between the Lakes. And when I reached out to them and started talking to them, there's a bigger campground in the south and then the Hillman Ferry in the north that we went to. And they said, no, I think for your situation and for the permanent lots that we already have, the Hillman Ferry would be a better fit for what we wanted to do. And so that's the first campground that I've actually really worked with the campground as much as I did. And they were great to work with.
Yeah, they seem like good people. They seem like that they wanted to help out.
Yeah. And now Wisconsin, I called and talked to probably 5 different campgrounds, and they're all like, yeah, we sell out every year. Like, even though it's September, they're like, good luck getting your sites, was basically what I was told. They had no interest in trying to work with us.
Yeah, interesting.
And then when you look at it, I think that campground has probably 200 to 300 campsites, and there's like 80 of them in the one general area that we're in, but the whole campground is sold out as of like a month or so ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that the campgrounds. Well, and do you call the campgrounds and say, "Hey, we would like to work with you," and then they're just like, no, not really, or do you just wing it and just be like, you know what?
So for most of them, I just wing it, and so I called Cook Forest like after I'd told everyone, "Hey, here's the weekend to make the reservations for." I don't remember what I called them about, but they're like, "Hey, we were wondering." We left on Saturday, and we came back on the next week, like on Monday, and all of a sudden this one weekend in September, the whole campground filled up. So they were wondering how or why it filled up. And so, but it wasn't, I hadn't called ahead of time.
Well, if I remember right, we looked at Land Between the Lakes at one point.
Yes.
And then we skipped it one year, and then ended up doing it eventually, but we came back to that one.
Well, the reason for that is the actual reservations at Land Between the Lakes was, here are some that are reservable. A lot of them that were first come, first serve. So they worked with us by letting us reserve those first come, first serve sites, which they would not have been available if we hadn't worked with them, and they worked with us.
Gotcha.
We reached out to a group called the Tin Can Tourists. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They take old, I don't know, vintage trailers, fix them up, and then they go and have campouts throughout the country. And they go to a popular park here in Michigan. We ran into them when we were camping and toured all their trailers. And when we were talking to him, he says, what you got to do, and this is what they do with their states, is they call the DNR or the local parks for that state and have a conversation. He goes, if you can tell them you're going to have this large swell on that weekend, a lot of times they'll work with you. So we started taking that approach with some of the places as we were going forward. And in here in Michigan, they would actually open up a week ahead for that group. And they would let them book solid a whole section knowing that they were going to sell it out. And we thought that was pretty cool. So, you know, some states are more receptive to that. Some are not. Land Between the Lakes, I mean, we looked at it, and the first time around, we were like, I don't think this is going to work because of how it's spread out. But then once we started having a conversation, oh my word, they were just more accommodating.
That was great.
It's actually, I think, probably been the most accommodating place that we've gone to for a MWD adventure hiker trailer campout. It's just been amazing how they came out last year.
I think they were really hoping that we'd come back again. Like, here's the red carpet. We'd love to help host you again, because they knew they were bringing in a lot of income to their community, into their area, by bringing this many people in.
Well, you would think that they would be. I mean, the rangers or the owners or whatever would be receptive and be like, we're going to roll out that red carpet, because you could, you know, the word gets out, right, that we're easy to work with, and therefore other events, you know, show up and be like, oh, you know, we want to work with you guys. Do you also try and choose locations that have like a pavilion or an amphitheater, so you guys can do the forums and do different events?
As much as possible, we try to find those places. That's another part with trying to find the location. When you're trying to find the location, you're not only looking for a lot of sites, but a lot of people that come to them want power. That was a big thing we heard early on, is we really want the power. I would say a majority of people stay at campgrounds on power, right? There is that other majority that go off and don't use the power and go off grid and that kind of thing. That does occur, but the majority wanted power in the early days. So we kind of stuck with the dedicated campground that's got, you're looking for a shower, you're looking for bathrooms, you're looking for a place for a stage. Do they have power for the stage, or do we got to provide our own power? All the logistics of all that stuff have to be sorted out ahead of time. And then trying to, because it's gotten so big, is just reaching out to our committee. And we usually will camp with them prior to September, and we'll just have a weekend where we brainstorm, go through all the details from day one to the last day. We just take a weekend camping with them just to kind of go over all that, make sure we got everything in place. And as the campouts have gotten bigger, it's really helped us reach out to vendors with giving away stuff and having their sponsorship on board so that we can, give away products and have prizes and that kind of thing. But it also helps expose the community to these products, which has been a good partnership.
Yeah. Let's talk about the giveaways. You guys do a ton of giveaways during the camp out, which is a benefit of attending, right? There's not the odds of you winning something are very, very good. Do you just call the vendors and say, "Hey, we're sponsoring a large camp out, and do you guys want to donate something to the cause?" Is that usually how it goes?
I send an email out and say, "Hey, we've got like 200 small trailer camper owners that are getting together. Would you be willing to donate something?" We'll advertise on the Facebook event page and all our emails. We'll do a follow-up YouTube video that will have something about them in it. A lot of times I don't hear anything back from people, and that's fine. Other times it's, hey, they've already reached out to us to do a review of some item. So we'll do the review, and then when I send them the video, I'm like, "Hey, by the way, we're doing this camp out. Would you be willing to donate something?" And guess what showed up today?
A light.
Oh, an O-light.
So this is a headlamp from Olight. So
That's a nice light.
Is that going to make it to the raffle or match collection?
No, I will make sure it does, because he's got too many lights we don't need anymore.
He got
You can
two
always
of
get
them.
another one.
Didn't you watch the video?
Two just reviewed.
Yeah, there you go. Those are very nice.
So yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, is reaching out to the vendors, and she'll share links and pictures and say, "This is what you're getting." We'll talk about the product if that's what you guys require. Give away some stickers, brochures, anything else you'd like tagged onto it. Tag them in our videos. We try to make it worth their while.
Yeah, very good.
And then we also then encourage people to bring things themselves, so that we've got smaller items that the co-campers are bringing along to give away. So we usually have maybe 5 to 10 bigger items or brand new items type of thing. And then we ask people to bring other items to give away that's more random.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the first few campouts were all just things that people brought. We just asked everybody, "Hey, if you want to donate something for the last night, we're going to give away things." And that's how it kind of came about. We didn't really have any vendors back then. It was just all things that people brought: glasses, lights,
So our
3D printed items.
Our third one, somehow we got connected with Jackery, and they must have had a bunch of refurbed power stations.
Yeah.
I think we had 10 different power stations to give away.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, then it kind of grew from there, kind of an expectation that kind of got built into it, that on Saturday night, we were going to have a giveaway with some bigger items. So we've kind of reached out and to see what we could get.
And hikers have been generous too over the years, giving away some bigger items, some awnings and different things, tent rooms. They've given away some pretty cool prizes over the years too.
And now they give like a gift card to their Deer Creek Overland.
Yep.
So that was very nice.
Gotcha.
That came in handy last year.
What did you end up getting?
What'd you get?
2 chairs, the hanging organizers for the awning, and a few other little things. It ended up being like $570. I had to spend $70. So it wasn't too bad.
Whenever Justin comes to one of the MWD campouts, you might as well not even enter anything, because he's going to win everything. He's going to win everything.
Oh.
Let me take a minute and recognize some of these super chats. I appreciate you guys donating to the channel. We got Greg here. Thanks for that $20 super chat. I'll have to get you guys later at Dayton. It's you guys are squirreling on me. Ben with the $5 donation. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, for beer money. Scout also speaking of ham radio campouts, going to the Wisconsin ham radio campout. So there's a campout, obviously in Wisconsin, that KB9VBR Mark or Mike, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he puts on a campout, and it's ham radio centric. And I'm thinking about coming up there. They've already got four TCs and 2 hikers. I wonder who the hikers are. You ought to find out who the hikers are. Scout.
So VBR, is he the one that has the red
Yes.
TC? Okay.
Yes.
I've followed his videos for a while, and I just seen another ham radio personality that I watch a few of his videos from time to time that just purchased a teardrop. Just put a video out this week, so I don't know what kind it is. It's more rounded in the back, but yeah, he just.
Oh, it was Mike K8 MRD.
Okay. Yep.
The white one.
Yes, the white one.
Yes. He lives in Texas, and yeah, that was a friend of his, and yeah, he had brought that to Huntsville, another ham radio event, or maybe it was somewhere else. Anyway, he's gonna buy that off of his friend. And then Nate, Kyle's dog poop bag supply. So I did a video about More Expo, and my dog pooped like 4 times on the walk and talk. So I complained that. So I need more poop bags.
I like that.
Oh, that's great.
There was another question that you guys had sparked my interest. But while I'm thinking about that question, tell me about, I want to go back and go through all of the years and what the locations were. But tell me how you guys got a band like last year. How did that come about?
There again, that was all that camp manager at Hillman Ferry.
So okay.
Sounds like he will hire the band multiple times, like once a month throughout the summer. That's part of his budget. And so he said, hey, would you want me to get a band for you on Saturday night? I'm like, sure. Why not?
Yeah. I still remember Wendy telling me, she's like, he's reached out. He's being super helpful. We've got this, and this planned. Everything's coming together. And now he threw in a band. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And the food truck, he arranged to have the food truck there.
Oh,
that
yeah,
night.
the food truck, yeah.
And they sold out of all the food. A lot of people didn't get food because they sold out. So it would have been.
At some point, you should have asked him to just bring a circus. Like, could you just bring the circus and we'll just ride rides and
this is our tax dollars at work for us, right?
Hey, if it's gonna go to stuff like this, I'd be more than happy to pay Tennessee taxes, or Kentucky taxes, or wherever it was.
Yeah,
Tennessee, I think.
Right on the border.
So do you want to run through where were the other campgrounds?
So it started in Indiana at that McCormick Creek State Park, which unfortunately got hit by a tornado a couple years ago.
Oh, shoot.
So
wiped out a ton of trees. I don't know if they ever fully recovered. I'm sure they're operational now, but
I don't think it's open as much as it had
been.
Took
out a ton of trees. That was a beautiful campground.
And then Indian Boundaries in Tennessee. Then our third one was Hawking Hills. That was the one where all of a sudden it just blossomed. And that was the one that we tried to video every single trailer, and it got to be Saturday afternoon, and we had no energy left in us whatsoever. Nothing.
I remember that, having no voice, walking back, and we had to get the prizes all the way down to the area. We had a few helpers with us, but we didn't have that much help back then. And we were so dead. I had no voice.
And that's when Greg and Sarah and Dwayne and Teresa, they walked really, up to us. Really do you want some help tonight? Like, yes. And that's where it's kind of started with them helping out with the Saturday night piece of it.
And that's where all the jackers are given away, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that one?
So that was Hawking Hills.
Yep.
Then the next year was Cook Forest in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Cook Forest. Where is that, in the southern part of Pennsylvania?
Kind of the middle west.
Okay.
And they have the biggest old trees east of the Mississippi.
Yeah, old growth trees.
Old growth forest.
Yeah, it hadn't been cut down. There's a pretty good section of them still there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting one because the terrain was kind of rocky and some people were camped down low, some people were camped up high. It was a really interesting layout for a
that
campground.
was the year of was that the deer?
Which deer?
Like when we went out,
lots of deer.
Yeah, when we drove out there was like 100 deer that we counted.
Oh yes, on the drive-in, yeah, we counted like 100 deer. A lot. I mean, they're like dogs in everybody's front yard. I swear every house had a deer in the front yard.
Oh wow, jeez, can be a little annoying.
Wasn't that the year? Oh God, there were raccoons.
That was
everywhere.
the year that I think one of the campers, I can't remember who he was, had a raccoon crawl in the back of the galley of the hiker trailer.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually crawled in. They had pictures of him, and he's like curled up in there. He was messing around looking for food, I'm assuming. But yeah, he was in the galley in the back of the trailer. That freaked everybody out.
Yeah.
So. I think that was the first year that Ben and Megan hosted the beer exchange.
Yes.
And it was a fabulous
that was
soiree.
a huge hit.
So the year before, who was the guy that had the small? He's a tall guy. Had the like 5x8 red one of the original trailers. He had done the beer exchange the year before.
Oh yeah.
He sold the trailer.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And what it wasn't a social event. It was you dump beer in this cooler and then come back later and pick up your beer and that's it.
Right.
It wasn't. Ben and Megan made it an event.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Well, yeah. So if that was the original Swap a Beer event, now it's whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
Beer exchange.
Beer swap.
Beer exchange.
Ben, Ben is the rightful owner of the beer swap. He is what I look for in beer swaps. Whenever I see him, I'm like, that's the beer swap guy.
I had to laugh at Julie's comment with him setting up the beer swap at the More Expo. She made some comment about, I think that's the only reason you go to these events is for the beer swap.
I must say that I don't think Ben went home with more beer than he came with, because I think we drained some of that beer. So, but anyway, it was a great event. Yeah.
Is it Don Cummings?
Yes.
So Don Cummings was one of the originals, and he took 2 styrofoam containers and he put them out by the road. And
that's it.
Take one, swap one from these 2 styrofoam containers. The problem you have is if you look in the rules of a lot of campgrounds, no alcohol, right? So as the organizers, we kind of took a step back and said, you guys want to do that? If a hiker trailer owner wants to promote that, put that on and get the word out and kind of tuck it away, you do you. We're, as the promoters and organizers of it, we had to kind of take a step back.
Right.
And that's where Ben stepped up. I think we talked to him. It was either at, I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those first ones, the one with the rolling hills and all that. We talked to him because we had seen everybody kind of gathering by his trailer. And that's how it really took off with him. And he's run it ever since.
It's a great event. I mean, it's that day event that gets everyone together. And I usually meet the most people at the beer swap.
Is that because you're more friendly at that time? You're
exactly.
a little more relaxed and joyful.
The liquid courage starts to flow, and you're just like, you're in the zone.
Yep. So what was the next one?
All right. So then we went to Dale Hollow in Kentucky.
Right.
And then Beach Fork State Park in West Virginia. That was our biggest one. That's where we ended up in kind of 2 separated areas. And I feel like people that were kind of in that back area felt a little bit out of the loop of everything that was going on.
So backing up to Dale Hollow is a really interesting layout because it has these big round rings. So we're researching this one and we're looking at it from a sky view, looking down. I'm like, this looks like crop circles. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like you would go in and there's this little tiny circle and then it goes over here. There's another little circle. It's like these little mini cul-de-sacs. And we're like, how in the world is this going to work? And then we got the idea of forming small communities and saying, okay, let's have somebody kind of organize that community and help out new hiker owners as they come in, they don't know anybody, introduce themselves and kind of, because it was getting so big at that point, to go, okay, how do we make this big event smaller, right? And that was a way to try to incorporate everybody to get to know somebody, because some people are just shy and they don't want anything to do with people. But if someone comes up and you're just the neighbor, then you can get a conversation started. So we started out with that one is where it launched the small communities.
Absolutely.
And trying to build that out, and it just took off. Everybody, the next year, we always put out a survey at the end, and in the surveys coming back to us was bring on the communities. That was awesome. I got to know a lot of people. I got to see a lot of cool things and hang out with a smaller group instead of this huge group. So
and being intimidated of, I don't know anyone, I don't dare talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
That definitely started that.
Yep.
So Beach Fork was West Virginia, then Land Between the Lakes in Kentucky, which I thought that was going to be a Tennessee, but because they recommended the northern one, it ended up being Kentucky again.
And Beach Fork had its challenges too, because there was no water. Drought.
Yes.
Man.
You remember Beach Fork and you were there, you remember it was drought.
It was so dry,
It was so dry. I mean, it was hard for people to put in kayaks and canoes, and all the water stuff was kind of, nope, that's not going to happen.
Campsites were not
waterfront was not waterfront. So, that was an interesting layout too, campground.
Yeah. It's that was my first camp out. And I think Justin, myself, and Julie, and maybe Justin wasn't back there. We were in the back.
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
I was in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was
One of our hosts back there.
Yeah, you had your trailer was like brand new. I remember.
Yeah, mine was. I had gotten that was in September. I had picked it up in January, and but
that's brand new.
Yeah, relatively new. Yeah.
Kyle, that was 2023 when you got yours.
24.
24.
So I had just got mine at the end of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, I put my order in October of 23 and picked it up in January of 24.
So that was the host had jambalaya, and it's like, what the heck is jambalaya? Well, we kept hearing about jambalaya in the corner with this host, so we had to go down there, and at nighttime we like to go from group to group at night and just see the groups. I mean, for us, as it's gotten bigger, it's been more about forming relationships with people and other fellow campers. The gear and all that stuff for us is cool, but we've been doing it so long now. It's just about the community now. It's much become more about that than anything. So,
well, when we go to schedule these or to kind of do the layout for the weekend, it used to be all about the trailer tours because it's all new. But now we're finding there's a big size core group that keep coming back every year, which is great because they have fun camping with each other. But they've had their trailers for a handful of years now. They've kind of established it how they want it, and they don't necessarily want to do a trailer tour and see all these things because they don't want to do a whole lot of changes to what they have. So that's where having some more of the talks or doing some activities together kind of grew out of, okay, we need to change this up a little bit because trailer tours aren't all that we need to do anymore.
Yeah.
And as it's grown, we've noticed too that there's certain groups now that they've gotten to know each other from being part of one of the small communities. They tend to try to find sites together now. So then every year they come back and camp together as that group. And we think that's fantastic. It's just so cool to see groups year after year after year coming back and getting to know everybody. It's like a giant reunion now.
But it's kind of, for me, trying to organize it, I don't want it to become cliquey, that people who know each other come and hang out together, they're all together, that the new people don't feel welcome into it. So that's a little bit of a challenge with trying to make it work for everyone.
Yeah. You have to walk that fine line, and hopefully people are spread out and meet new people. But again, people are people. They're gonna, if they want to camp around people that they're familiar with, you can't,
Right. Well, and that's part of it. We want them to build a community. So we want to encourage that too. So like you said, it's a fine line.
Right.
And as you get bigger with the trailer tours too, you have the challenges of trying to organize the trailer tours and go, okay, are we going to do a flag where anybody can walk up and see your trailer? Are we going to do a set of hours where it's this time to this time on Friday and this time to this time on Saturday? But we want people to go out and explore the park and be able to see things and do things. We don't want to have to keep them hostage. You have to be here between 2 and 4 to show your trailer off, right? So that's been a challenge too. So one year we had the tours. The next year we said, we're just going to say Saturday, you can walk around and meet and greet people as you want. If they're there, they're not there. Well, the funny thing is, after that event, we got a lot of feedback in the survey that said, we want the trailer tours to come back. We want dedicated times to see these things, because we walked around and we couldn't find anybody at the trailers
because they were gone
and it wasn't as
Right.
organized, and they really wanted the organization of set hours. So we kind of went back to that this past year, and it seems to have worked. And they still give people the option. They don't have to do it, right? You don't have to participate. It's very optional.
Yeah. Yeah. When did, okay, so have we gone through all of the locations?
Yeah, we did. So here's my question for you. Since you're asking, or to the whole group, you're asking, when do we start thinking about the next one? I'm already thinking of the next one. So I'm asking if anyone has suggestions. We're in Wisconsin this year. I want to head down to either like southern Tennessee. I looked at northern Alabama and northern Georgia. There's not anything real great that's big enough. We want something around 100 sites. Or I was kind of even looking at like western North Carolina. So if anyone has some great suggestions for like southern Tennessee, western North Carolina, send them my way.
Yeah. Have you looked at, you said northern Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And have you looked at Montesano State Park in Huntsville?
How far down into
that's
Alabama is that?
It's probably an hour or so. I mean, it's down there, but that campground is great. It's up on a hill. It's got a ton of sites.
What was that one called?
It's called Monte Santo. Okay. Montesano. It's called Montesano. And it is a great campground. That's where Huntsville Hamfest is, and we're down there every August. And Huntsville, it's right beside Huntsville, and all the amenities, and also, it's Rocket City. It's got a whole bunch of NASA stuff there. But it's a great campground. So I'll throw that into the mix.
Okay. Appreciate it.
If you guys, put all of your comments of locations that you have so we can get those to Matt and Wendy. But then also, if people have comments afterwards, what should they do? Should they email you, or should they just comment on one of your videos and say, have you looked about this? What should they do?
They can email at MWDAdventures@gmail.com.
Okay. Gotcha. JNA Hansen says, I live in Alaska. Is that close enough?
Sure. That sounds like it's on the east side of the Mississippi. If we go around the world enough, it'll be on the east side.
Justin from across the river says Brushy Mountain. I think that's in Arkansas, isn't it?
Brushy Mountain.
Tennessee.
Is it Tennessee?
Where Southeast Overland has their event every year. They just had it in the park.
Okay.
That's more of an open field, though.
Yeah.
And I think they only have like 10 electric sites.
Well, and so that was, Matt kind of touched on that earlier, but we didn't want to exclude people because there wasn't electricity is kind of why we've done what we've done and chose. Because there's a lot of people that say, no, let's do an off-grid one, which we are doing off-grid up in Michigan if anyone's interested in August. But we wanted to include as many people. We didn't want to exclude people because they couldn't go off-grid. So that's why we've done the electricity type campgrounds.
Yeah, so if you have any comments, MWDAdventures@gmail.com, if you don't drop it here into the chat. Did we talk about this year's yet?
Probably
year?
Not. We haven't got there yet.
Yeah, we haven't even got there.
Peninsula State Park in Wisconsin. Beautiful area. From Michigan, it's across the big lake for us. So we took a boat across a few years ago. I would recommend if you're coming, come a couple days early or stay a couple days late. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
They're known for their fish fries, which they do this big hot boiling pot of water, and then they drop the fish in it, and then it like overflows, and then they pull the fish out, and it's a really cool demonstration.
Creates this huge fire because of the oils they're using, and it flashes over, and everybody goes ooh, and they do it outside. Then they bring the fish in and they feed everybody. So they're known for that. Obviously, Wisconsin's known for their cheese. Wineries, a lot of wineries in the area. Some great little pizza places and things around the campground.
There's a Swedish restaurant that actually has goats that walk on the roof because it's a grass roof.
Yeah, that was fun. Fun little town to visit. They actually have goats walking around on the roof of the restaurant with grass up there, which is kind of comical.
Yeah.
We do have an old video if you wanted to kind of see what that area is like. You can look at our archives. We have a video when we went to Peninsula. We rented electric bikes. They have a lot of trails through there, so you bring your bikes.
Definitely.
We rented some electric ones up there and just whizzed around, had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, just a beautiful campground, though. So of course, we were there with Tornado.
Yes, we were.
That's the way it always works. But,
and we used Matt's ham radio to know what the weather was.
Yep, that was my
there
first.
There you go, a little Skywarn action. Yep.
Dialing in the weather on my ham because we couldn't get a signal for a phone. And that was the only way we knew what was coming and where, if we need to get out of town or not.
Hey, we were talking about that at Moore with all of the storms around. There was a couple of people that came over and were like, hey, you guys have got the weather, live. What's going on? And we were just listening to the Skywarn stuff. So I think we tempted some people to get their ham radio license or at least get a radio and tune into the local Skywarn net. But yeah, cool stuff.
Yep. With our Tundra, I still haven't taken the time. I got to get my ham radio in there.
Yeah. When is the Campout? It's the second weekend in September or third weekend?
So because of how Labor Day falls, it's the third week. It's the 17th through the 20th.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you know, like I got a campground or a campsite without electric and I'm on the email list, right, for trying to get an electric site. Do you know how many hikers have signed up so far?
I have 70 that I'm aware of. I feel like most campouts, I don't have an accurate number, but 70 people that have reached out to me to let me know that they have a campsite.
Gotcha. And if they haven't reached out, should they send you an email?
Yep, same MWDAdventures@gmail.com. Then you'll get on our event email list, which will keep you up to date. If you haven't gotten any emails this month about the t-shirt contest, then you might not be on my list, or look in your spam or promotions folder, because I think today the 4th email came out about the t-shirt contest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saw it.
Got it. Yep. Okay. One more question, and I think we'll wrap up unless Justin and Celia, you've got any questions. You guys have a committee of people that help you, right? When did the committee start, and what type of things do the committee, what jobs do you give them? what project manager jobs do you give the committee members?
Probably the COVID one where it started.
So the one in Hawking Hills, when it went from 11 and 20 all the way up to 52, when Greg and Sarah and Dwayne and Teresa stepped up and said, hey, can we help you? They kind of cemented their deal of being part of our committee. And then Greg had offered to do the website. So we have that gets put out a few months before the campout starts, so people can put out the trailer and the event stuff gets put on there. As far as who's going to bring snacks or who's going to be the campground host, who's going to host the different events, that's all me. I send out emails and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking of doing. Who's willing to help out in those things? And I've never had a spot that hasn't gotten filled. People are very more than willing to say, hey, that's something I can do. Another big thing that we've done every camp out, to start with our first one, it's continued, is that we find some kind of a charity or food pantry to donate some money or food to. There again, the first one and second one, very easy to collect the food. bring it to a charity. The third one, it got to be a little bit much because it grew so much. And then the fourth one, I think Tom and Barb took like 2 trips to get all the food to the food pantry person. So then
people were bringing in cases of food, and we were like, oh my word. So yeah, they took a couple trips to get it to a local food bank. So then we switched it. Go ahead.
So now we're doing a money donation, and we're finding Barb has been great. I don't know if you know Barb and Tom. They've been to multiples of these, but she takes time, sometime this time of year, reaches out to different food banks that are in the area of where we're going to be camping, sends me a list of them, and then narrow it down to the one that looks like it will work the best. If they have like a GoFundMe or some kind of a charity link set up that we can just send the money right to them. Because I don't want to end. I think this past year we had like, was it $2,000? Like, I don't want to be responsible for this cash and be worried that someone's going to try to steal it from us or something like that. So it's nice when they have a link that we can just send it right to them. Even if the GoFundMe or whatever takes a small portion of it, I still feel it's just safer than me having this wad of cash to try to get to them.
Yeah. And when we have our committee camp out, which is prior to the event, then we'll go through, like I said, all the logistics with that group. And they help us provide a lot of ideas. There's a lot of things we'll bounce off them and go, what do you think? You've been with us since the beginning. Do you think the group would like this? Do you think the group would like that? And they help us find, tune things. The cooking thing has been a big hit the last few. With Tosh and Gary, and then Teresa and Dwayne, and getting them together. People like to see, what do people cook? And how does that work? Are you a dehydrated person, dehydrated meals, or do you like to fresh cook? And both of those have their place in camping. So,
yeah. It's you always have to, whenever you guys do your forums or your events, it's always a good splattering of just things that interest outdoorsy, stuff and hiker trailer oriented subjects. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, we try. We did the solar talk on solar. We've had the talk on flashlights last year. We had places you want to go and trips you want to go, maintenance of your trailers. We're always open to new ideas. Ham radio. We did the ham radio one. We had a smidgen of people come out for that. So, we're always interested in ideas. If someone's got one, please reach out to us by email. And we've had people, it's amazing over the years, they'll reach out and go, I want to make a sticker for everybody this year. Can I do that? Can we help out? I'm like, sure, absolutely. We want to make a Christmas ornament for everybody, that kind of thing. So it's been pretty cool to see the community come together and help us out. They know it's a lot of work. And I'll tell you what, between the two of us, most of the work is right here. She loves the logistics, and every year she's like, oh, it's so much work. But then she's just right in the computer. I'll bet you every other night she's on the computer doing something with the camp out, getting it prepped. It just amazes me how much time and energy she puts into it. So
yeah, very good. Well, we thank you guys on putting this together. I know how much work it is, and I'm sure that I'm probably not even touching the surface on all of the stuff that you guys, all the decisions and all of the things that you guys have to deal with. So it is it's very much appreciated from the hiker community that you guys put this on. It's a fun event. I always look forward to it.
Well, good. We, like Matt said earlier, it's about building the community. It's all about the relationships that we're building. There's so much loneliness in the world these days. And if we can just be a little drop in the bucket to help people have some community and some friendships that they build, that's worth it to us.
Yeah. The hiker trailer community is great, but us camping together and building even more community around that's even better.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, Justin, Celia, you got any questions that wasn't covered that you guys want to take a stab at?
Not necessarily a question, just wanted to thank y'all for putting those events on. They're very enjoyable. I've enjoyed the last two that I've been to.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. You guys make me drive all over the country, so that's a good thing.
We want to show you the world that you haven't seen.
True. No, the campouts have given me the confidence to basically go drive by myself to all these weird places. So
Oh, my goodness.
It is a good excuse to like go find new places if you're, not that adventurous and, you want to, venture out and see new states. Having an excuse to go to a campout is great.
I'm pretty adventurous, but it's between being adventurous and being a little bit cautious because I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm not. It's not like you hook up with some stranger on the internet and go camping with them.
So with you saying that, our kids are now in their 20s, but when we started this, they were teenagers. They're like, okay, you tell us not to meet people you meet on the internet. And what do? You go out there and say, we're camping here, world, come join us.
Yeah.
So you're being a little bit anti what you're telling us to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's different because it's not after watching videos and after having met, I think the first one I attended was in Ohio, and my best friend, and you guys maybe remember Ingrid, she lives in Columbus, so it was like, hey, come with me to meet all these weird people,
Now you're one of those weird people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was funny. She started calling it the cult, and I'm like, well, perhaps, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, that gave me. Once I met you guys, it was like, oh, they're okay. I can go by myself now.
Glad to know we're okay.
No, I'm not talking about.
Just okay. Just okay.
We know what you meant. We know what you meant. Yep, absolutely. Yep, for sure.
All right, very good. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for all of the super chats. I appreciate everyone reaching out and everyone that is in the chat. Thank you again for making the stream what it is. And we're going to do this again. We usually do this the fourth Thursday of every month. Now, I don't know if we're going to have a May stream because I'm going to be in Colorado. So we'll have to figure out something. I don't know what we'll do, but yeah, we might have to skip a month and pick it up in June. But anyway, that is it from here. Any departing thoughts, guys, before we close it?
I would say make sure you get out and do some camping.
Here you go.
You left it wide open for me, so why would I not?
I was teeing it up for you, Matt.
You set it up.
Teed it up and knocked it out of the park. All right, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. See you guys later.
See ya.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. Good to see you.
Yeah.